Hi, I'm Bodette, welcoming you to another edition of Test Drive brought to you by Sport Car USA. Today, we'll be test driving this 2016 Chevrolet Camaro SS. So let's take a look what's under the hood with a 6.2-liter V8. So we're driving this 2016 Camaro. It has 455 horsepower. Easy to remember the torque because it's the same, 455 pounds of torque. Plenty of leg room in this Camaro. If you're long-legged, if you're tall in general, your head's probably gonna hit the ceiling. Mine barely touches it. Nice heads-up display where you can see how fast you're going, the RPMs, it's all right in front of you. Don't have to look down at all. Tells you what gear you're in. Shifts very nicely and has a really nice rumble to it. This has the sport suspension on it, so it hugs the road really nicely. And there's plenty of get up and go with this 6.2-liter engine. V8, yeah, it goes, really goes. It's a 6-speed transmission. Use that 6th gear on the interstate. That's about the only place you're gonna use it. A lot more fun with the first 5 gears. Really a nice handling car. It has 20-inch rims and tires on it. And you can hear this one coming down the road for sure. Love the downshifting. Very smooth. This particular Camaro is black with a silver stripe. Looks really sharp. And just sitting here at the traffic light, it has a nice rumble to it. It really does. There's some kids looking at us, giving us the thumbs up. That's always a good thing. We like thumbs up. Yeah, really smooth shifting. Going right through the gears. Slicing right through them. As they say, this Camaro has all the bells and whistles. I mentioned the sport suspension on it. 6.2 V8. Has a moonroof, which is really nice. I don't know if you can hear that, but it sounds really nice. One of the criticisms of the new Camaro, this version, is that the windows are very narrow. So this car is equipped with blind spot monitors in its outside mirrors, which are very helpful, especially if you're doing a lot of city driving. You want to utilize those, and really helps you in traffic because it is hard to see. It is really hard to see a car coming up on either side of you. The display in general is very nice. It's laid out perfectly. Again, you've got the heads-up display. Really no need to put your head down at all to look at any of the gauges, but the gauges are well suited for this car. Not a ton of room in this Camaro. It is a sports car, but the seats kind of grab you in a good way. As you go through the gears, you can feel that seat hug you even more. Haven't had any problems with the Camaro holding the road. It holds the road just fine, going around corners at a rather quick pace. No worries at all. Stays glued to the road, which is what you want. It does have the sports suspension, which makes it kind of stiff, but that's a good thing. You want to feel the road and really feel the capabilities of this Camaro. And I think the sports suspension really makes a big difference, along with those 20-inch rims and tires. Very good cruising car, but when you want to get on it, you can get on it and you'll know it. It has plenty of get up and go. As I mentioned, 455 horsepower and 455 pounds of torque. There's nothing like a standard transmission in my mind when it comes to sport cars, muscle cars. I've driven the Shelby GT500, the 2020 Corvette. They don't come in standard transmissions. And that's kind of disappointing. They say you'll get over it, but I don't know. I'm a standard transmission guy with these types of cars. It just makes a whole lot more fun than just putting your pedal to the metal. Just sitting at a stop sign or waiting for a school bus, you can hear that rumble of the Camaro. It's like ready to go. Release me, is what it's saying to you. Let me make some real noise. Oh yeah. She goes rather nicely. Almost feels like you're in a rocket ship. I've never been in a rocket ship, so I'm just imagining, but everything's very condensed in this car. It's all right there. I mentioned, yes, the windows are narrow. The seats are a bit narrow, hugging you. If you're tall like I am, that will add to the narrowness of the vehicle, as my head is almost at the top of the ceiling. But if you're looking for some fun in a two-seater, even though this is a four-seat vehicle, but really, it's two seats. You might be able to put some groceries in the back, but I know the debate continues to this day. Mustang, Camaro, Mustang. Throw a Challenger in there too, I guess, but mostly it's Camaro and Mustang. And for me, it's tough to decide. I'm sure on future shows, we'll show you the Ford Mustang GT500. We've already done a GT350. I mean, I'm going around a corner right now at about 65 miles an hour. And it is really holding the road, and it just wants to go faster. And if it wasn't for a car in front of me, I would go faster. Cars like this, for me, it's the speed, of course, getting through the gears, but also I love going around corners. Really hugging the road with this Camaro. This Camaro has a really bold look to it as I look out my side view mirror and my rear view mirror. I can see the spoiler, and I can see how the back end is kind of up a bit, and I like the looks of it. Is it one of the best riding cars out there? Probably not, but that's okay. It's a muscle car with 455 pounds of torque. Plenty of get up and go with this Camaro. It's fun to drive, it really is. This is the SS model, 2016 SS. And the interior is really nice. It has LED lighting throughout. Leather seats, I like the red and the black combo. The exterior, of course, is the black and silver with the silver striping down the middle. That looks really cool. And this Camaro has a few different modes. For instance, believe it or not, it has a snow and ice mode, and I don't think I'll be using that anytime soon. If you bought this car to drive in the winter, you're crazy. I'm just saying, you are. So we won't use that mode at all. But it also has a track mode, which most muscle cars do have. It has the sport mode, which we're in now, and then there's the touring mode, which, of course, if you're on the interstate and just trying to save gas money, but again, that's not what you buy this car for. In general, I think I would keep it in the sport mode. The sport mode and the track mode will make the exhaust a little louder, which I like. I mean, if you have a muscle car and you don't like loud noise, you probably shouldn't get a muscle car, because I want people to hear me coming. And they hear me coming with this Camaro. So this Camaro is not the fastest car on the road. It's not the best looking car on the road. But I gotta tell you, it's fast enough. And I think it is a very good looking car. I love the redesign they did on this several years ago. They brought the Camaro back, you may recall, after putting it on the shelf for a while. And I like what they did. This Camaro definitely is a car that could be a commuter car without any problem at all. Going to work with this vehicle would be fun. And it's comfortable enough where you aren't going to get out of it feeling sore. It's a nice car. It'll look good in your parking lot at work or wherever you go. I guess we can call it a user-friendly car. It does have a really big trunk. And the back seat's not ideal for adults. You could fit a couple of kids back there probably, younger children. So I guess what I'm saying is if you have a young family and you had to give up a toy because how things change, you can get the best of both worlds. You can still have your muscle car and take care of your family at the same time. So that's our test drive with this 2016 Camaro SS. It's been a great ride, a lot of fun, holds the road nicely, plenty of power, a little tight in the cabin for sure, especially if you're tall. But other than that, I give this a thumbs up. So there you have it, another exciting edition of Test Drive brought to you by Sport Car USA. We checked out this 2016 Camaro SS with 455 horsepower and 455 pounds of torque, and I would say it tested rather nicely. We'll see you next time on Test Drive.